who was like Western club. Ready?
Yes.
Good evening. This is the caucus meeting for May 28, 2025. Presiding officer of the council, Milady Tejeda, wishes to advise the audience that notice of this meeting has been filed with the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and posted on the bulletin board in the city clerk's office and on the city's website, indicating that today's meeting is being held in the council chambers, City Hall, 260 High Street at 5:30 p.m. We're a little delayed, and the council meeting will follow the caucus and the closed session. Council President Tejeda, as a courtesy of the governing body, I will ask all individuals present, including members of the audience, to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Should you need to make a telephone call, please go out into the hallway and speak in a low voice so as not to disturb the ongoing meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Present.
Councilwoman Morales?
Present.
Councilwoman Peralta?
She's excused.
Councilman Puccio?
Present.
Council President Tejeda?
Present. Okay. Mayoral presentation. Our mayor will recognize the boys volleyball team.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Council President. Good evening, council members. Good evening, colleagues, friends, family members. And once again, we're here. And thank you for the opportunity to share another bright spot in our beautiful community. One that came from hard work, team spirit, and a whole lot of heart. We're here to recognize something that deserves more than just a headline or a scoreboard mention. The outstanding achievement of our Perth Amboy High School varsity boys volleyball team and the coaches who led them to make history in the city of Perth Amboy. Now, I know that we just had wins before with other teams, but this one's kind of different. This team didn't just bump, set, and spike their way through the season. They raised the bar, the net, and the expectations. For the first time ever, they brought home a Blue Division championship, finishing the season with an impressive 12-4 overall record and going a perfect 8-0 in division play.
I think that.
That's not only winning, that's dominating with a purpose.
Yep.
So congratulations to each and every one of you. And to every student athlete on this roster, you didn't just play a game, you made a statement. That effort, discipline, and believing in each other really can change the narrative. Whether you were making a dive, save, or cheering from the bench, you all contributed to a season that will be remembered as long after the gym lights go out. So congratulations once again. And I want to give special recognitions to 4 players who earned all division honors: Alan Perez, Kevin Soguero, Bradley Enriquez, and Justin Ramos Pacheco. Your skills were noticed far beyond the city line, and that says a lot. Congrats. And of course, none of this would have happened without the steadfast leadership of Coach Badir. You're not only, where's Coach Badir? There you go. And also Coach Shank. I know she was not able to make it today. Oh, she's here? Okay. But once again, through their great leadership, and they have led these fine young boys, fine young men now, right? To a championship for the city of Perth Amboy. And now it's my honor to present a mayoral citation to each of them, including the coaches, for this outstanding performance, an outstanding season that they had this year, and for representing Perth Amboy well. I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that, because, whether you like it or not, you play for the city of Perth Amboy, and every chance you get to be out there, you're representing this city. And this season, you did it well. So congratulations to each of you. I want to call all of you up, right? I want to present your citations to each of you. Coach Bradier. Also, I'm not sure if you want to share a few words. If all of you could please come forward. This is for Coach. Thank you. Congratulations. This is for all division honorees. Which one are the four?
There's one here. Bradley.
There's only one?
Yeah. I'll give this to the rest of them.
And this is for the others. I'm going to give you the opportunity to share a few words, and then we can take a picture, a photo up with the entire council. Yes?
Thank you so much for this honor. I will say that these boys have been working hard for 3 years for us to get to this point. That's when I started with them. And to coach these boys is to know not just hard work and dedication, but love for one another, for their team, for their school. And, a lot of people underestimate Amboy kids, but Amboy kids have the biggest hearts. And I'm really proud to have been their coach, honestly, and I'm really, really proud of them. And the only reason we won is because of their hard work. So that's all. In there?
Yes.
Okay.
This facing. Back it up.
Mine too, I've never been so good at it. Ten? Right, so career preparation, right? All right.
Madam Council President, I just want to share that while I was going to high school, we were only known for baseball, basketball, and football, right? And we were pretty good back then in all three sports. But now to see that we've come and we're excelling in other sports, right? We've seen it throughout the years, right? Now in volleyball, once again, it says a lot about our youth and how the city's moving forward. Just want to share also that yesterday we did ribbon cutting for the Pocket Park on Fayette Street, where we took an eyesore, a dangerous eyesore. Many of you remember, right? That was really in the entrance, the gateway to our city on Fayette Street and Goodwin. That was not only an eyesore, but it was an unsafe, we had an unsafe structure there that, it was just a disaster bound to happen eventually. And, in partnership with the county, many don't know, that's property of the county. So we really have to thank the county for committing to the city of Perth Amboy. And, my first year as mayor, I sat down with them and, I said, something needs to be done in regards to that area. It's an unsafe structure. The roof was caving in, God forbid, one of our youth or anyone was to go in there and the roof collapse on them, right? So in working with them, they committed to building a park for us. And that park is $1 million park. It took $1 million just because, and I know it sounds like a lot, but a lot of work was done to demolish the structure that was there, to put all the, do the work underground and so on, right? And now it's a beautiful park for our city. And that's one already of 8 that we have planned in the next few years for a beautiful city. So I want to thank this council for cooperating with us, right? And also seeing the vision of beautifying our city with open space. So because without your support, none of this is possible. So, on behalf of the city of Perth Amboy and on behalf of the, I'm sure I'm speaking for the county as well, we want to thank you because, yesterday was made a reality because of your support. So thank you.
Thank you.
I have to excuse myself. I have another commitment, but once again, thank you to each and every one of you, once again. And we're here for you.
Thank you.
Okay? Keep
Thank
making
you.
us proud.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good
Good evening. Okay, we're going to continue. Ordinance, public hearing, 5 minutes maximum per speaker per ordinance. An ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, to amend an ordinance entitled an ordinance designating restricted parking spaces for use by handicapped persons. Ordinance number 380-85 and amendments adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255A of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about additions. Number 2, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled Taxi Cabs, ordinance number 38-74 as amended, also known as Chapter 404 of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. Agenda, public comments. Citizen may address the council on any matter on the agenda which does not have its own scheduled public hearings. Citizens shall be permitted to speak once for a maximum of 5 minutes. Bids. Bids were received on April 24, 2025 for the following: Rosen Garden Park improvement, Seacon Cinco Metals LLC for $1,027,338 with 25 cents. Flanagan Contracting Group, Inc., $1,144,448 with 55 cents. Zenith Construction Services, $1,224,615 with 50 cents. The Avellino Construction, Inc., $1,292,362 with 50 cents. And the bid was awarded to Senco Metals LLC. Reports, Jill Goldie, CFO Controller, submitted the following: GASB number 75 Actuary Valuation Report for the year ending December 31st, 2024, prepared by Densinger and Markov LLP. Number 2, Investment Report for the month of April. You're missing a 2.
Yeah.
2025. Ordinance, first reading, no public discussion. An ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled, an ordinance designating restricted parking spaces for use by handicapped persons. Ordinance number 380-85 and amendments adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about addition. Number 2, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled Garbage, Rubbish, and Refuse, adopted February 18, 1975. Ordinance number 64-75 as amended, also known as Chapter 243C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. Number 3, ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy authorizing terminating the amendment services agreement with Raritan Bay Area Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA, and in lieu thereof, enter into a lease agreement commencing upon the effective date and continue thereafter for a period of 10 years for non-monetary consideration pursuant to NJSA 40A, column 12-14, to be used for a public purpose. Number 4, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending Section 430 in zoning and land development, adopted September 21, 1993, as ordinance number 68-93, and as amended to provide for additional definition and conditional uses, and also amending Chapter 137, alcoholic beverages, adopted September 6, 1950, as amended to provide for additional related regulations. Okay, now resolution. Budget to be read by title prior to public hearing. Jill, you'll be doing it later or at the next meeting, okay. R222-525, authorizing the purchase of electric supply services for public use on an online auction website. R223-525, authorizing return of permit fees to Trinity Solar in an amount not to exceed $918.40 for the solar project at the 341 Elm Street. R224-525, authorizing a refund of a bulk appointment fee in the amount of $30 to Gloria Rivera. R225-525, authorizing a contract with IPL NA Inc. Marco Plastics for 1,430 95-gallon Omni cards through HGAC by contract number RC01-21, and in an amount not to exceed the sum of $148,721. R226-525, authorizing a refund in the amount of $50 to Teresa Fergus a tenant for the return of her key deposit for one key with the Perth Amboy Harborside Marina. R-227-525, amending Resolution R-163-425, authorizing a refund of the amount of $100 to Matthew Burgos for return of his key deposit correcting his address. R-228-525, authorizing execution of a professional services agreement with T.M. Associates for professional design and CAI services for 2024 Road Improvement Program Phase 5 in the amount not to exceed $277,000. R-229-525, authorizing a contract with Peter J. King LLC to represent the City of Perth Amboy as general litigation counsel for a period of 1 year, retroactive from January 1st, 2025, and terminating December 31st, 2025, in the amount not to exceed $60,000. R-23525, accepting the transfer of $1 million from the Perth Amboy Redevelopment Agency for furtherance of the maintenance and rehabilitation of public park. R-231-525, authorizing a contract with Q's and Forth Development, Inc. for the software maintenance for the Police Department and Fire Department computer systems for the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30, 2026, in the amount of $55,213. R-232-525, amending Resolution R-62-125, authorizing the City of Perth Amboy through the City Perth Amboy Police Department to participate in the Defense Logistic Agency Law Enforcement Support Office 1033 program to enable the Perth Amboy Police Department to request and acquire excess Department of Defense equipment. R-233-525, authorizing closeout change order and final payment estimate number 3 to the contract with Seacoast Construction, Inc., decreasing the contract for the basketball court improvement Phase 2 in the amount of $23,236.04. R-234-525, authorizing refund of background check fees to volunteer coaches who have completed their mandatory background checks for the 2025 youth baseball, softball, and boxing and tennis. R-235-525, authorizing an agreement between the City of Perth Amboy and the Perth Amboy Board of Education for the State of New Jersey 2025 Summer Food Service Program breakfast and lunch in an amount not to exceed $444,452.40. R-236-525, authorizing change order number 1 to the contract with RS Construction LLC for contracting services related to the home improvement program in an amount not to exceed $2,550. R-237-525, supporting NJDOT preferred alternative for State Street CR 611 bridge over Chemical Coast Branch, Conrail. R-238-525, accepting the bid and awarding the contract to Senco Metals LLC for the Rosengarten Park improvement in an amount not to exceed $1,027,338.25. R-239-525, accepting a supplemental funding award from the State of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Green Acres Program in the amount of $2 million. This is for the Veteran Memorial Park. R-240-525, accepting the New Jersey Department of Environment Protection Green Acres Program, Jake's Law, in the amount of $750,000 for the Truxton Park Inclusive Playground Project. R-241-525, authorizing a refund of fee paid for a 2025 fixed peddler location to Natalie Rojas, TA Naya Sushi, in the amount of $450. R-242-525, authorizing a refund of fee paid for 2025 fixed peddler location to Talia D. Criado, TA Amboy Ice Cream, in the amount not to exceed $450.
Council President.
Yes.
Quickly, I know you have to read it, but we're going to be pulling R-243.
Okay, so we're pulling 243. R-244-525, authorizing reimbursement to Tri-Stone Capital Assets LLC in the amount of $4,897.92 for cancellation of tax sales certificate number 24-00154, 395 Mechanic Street, Block 144, Lot 1302. R-245-525, adopting the calendar year 2025 budget. R-246-525, authorizing emergency temporary appropriation to extend the calendar year 2025 temporary budget in the amount of $7,211,350. We have some communications. Okay, closed session resolution. Anything? No? Good? Okay, so we have no closed session. Public portion, 5 minutes maximum per speaker. I need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, it's open to the public.
Ken Powell, 359 Brook Avenue. Whose brilliant idea authorized this to come in the water department bill? That's a political statement here. And I don't even know this half-senior thing has ever been passed to go into effect. So how did this go to the water department? If anybody could tell me, is that true that they're gonna save half the taxes for senior citizens? Anybody tell me, has that been passed? That was put in the water department. And that's a political statement, because two of them are running for office. Just happened to come out just before the primary. So, when I'm finished here, maybe somebody can explain to me number 3 here on the ordinance terminating the YMCA. I'd like to know about that one. Very interested in that one. And then how are you gonna adopt the budget if you're taking out the Board of Education's part of the budget? If that's not in here, what's the Board of Education, what's their amount of raising the taxes? What's the percentage? Does anybody know? See, that's what I mean, deer in headlights. That should be a question, what's the percentage more of what? I've been talking about that for months. It's not like the first time, so nobody knows it, or you know it and you're silent. You're not gonna tell the public? Don't laugh, you just got here. So don't sit here and say that the taxpayers, not me, the taxpayers in this town, what's the rate of the taxes going up? What's the percentage? Do you live in Perth Amboy?
I'll explain it to you afterwards.
Just finish all your questions and he will answer.
I mean, the question, that was an easy question, just the percentage. 2 seconds. So, Mr. Green, prior to here, blames the unions for all the money going up. I mean, 2 people here you can see that got over $10,000 raises. Is there any union workers that got that type of a raise for percentage-wise? One's the mayor's assistant, and I believe it's the, where's the other one? Our tax assessor. How did he get such big raises? And the other question I asked was, how do you go from $65,000 to $214,000 in credit card fees? $65,214. Just like looking at certain things here, and I don't want to look at it all stuff, because it's embarrassing to look at some of the numbers in here. Sometimes the Medicare fees don't go down, some of the fees went up, your liability insurance jumped up, some of it don't. So how did liability insurance go up like $10,000 in one group? Did anybody look at any of these figures or anything else like that and look? You're gonna raise taxes 6.5, 5.5, or whatever. So the question is, now, how much are you gonna raise the budget? I know we're gonna talk about the budget here, but I'd like to know the answers now so I can have some answers. Because you're not telling the public anything. I don't hear a big story in the newspaper, oh, we're raising taxes, to tell the public, hey, wait a minute, because raise the taxes, I mean the rental fees are gonna go up. So the poor people in this town are the ones that are gonna suffer. But you don't have any answers. You sit there like deer in headlights. I've seen deer smile better than some of you sometimes. This is ridiculous that you don't. But you can send out flyers for political fire, just like the mayor just before his mayoral election sent one out to the public promoting himself just before an election, the same day that somebody was running against her, the same day he got the same flyer. How's that ethical? And then here's the mayor sitting here. The first day he was in office, he went to the county to get that park built. Well, it's what, 6 years later? It really moves quick. Really moves quick. And then you can tell me how you spend $1 million for a park. You can build a Taj Mahal house for $1 million on that property. But you're gonna do it for a park? And then $750,000 for the other park on Florida Grove Road? $750,000 for that park? I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be parks, but $750,000? You can build houses, 4-family houses, and put the homeless in it for that kind of money.
Thank you. Mr. Akil?
I'm
He's
done.
done.
5 hours, 5 minutes.
He's done.
Going to the next, I'll speak to you.
No, I'm wanting to, the public needs to hear it. This is supposed to be the public session.
Okay.
I don't get
Okay,
this.
your time is up. I need
But this
somebody
is the
else.
public session. I asked the question, he says he's gonna tell me.
He's gonna tell you. He's gonna answer your question.
Okay, answer my question. But
Time for the next person.
they should be able to hear it, this is the public.
It's not your money, it's everybody's money.
I mean, I don't really get it. You're gonna tell me on the side, so then you can say that whatever you said to me, well, I didn't say that. Oh, it's public. Public. You can understand that? It's public. I asked the questions. I want the answers. I asked about the YMCA termination and the percentage of the school map. I'm not asking major questions here. This is common sense. I mean, if the CFO doesn't have the answer for that, I'm sure she does. But does it make sense that he's not gonna talk to me on the side? Really? Come on.
He's gonna speak to you. He's gonna give you the answer.
But so there's
Okay.
the public. You got a newspaper here, and this is what's supposed to be. This is public session. This is public. Public transparency. Public session. Like I said, deer in headlights. It's freaking clueless. You really are clueless.
He's
You're
going,
afraid of
I'm
something.
sorry. You're done. Your
I
time
know
is
I'm
up.
done, but
He's going to speak to you. You want an answer, he's gonna give it to you. Okay, anybody else?
excuse me.
I would like to know what set their truth.
Come on now. I can't go outside.
Okay.
Ernest Medina, 764 Harbortown Boulevard. Quick question. I know you got 5 minutes. Let's say, for instance, I'm representing 30 people. I'm still limited to the 5 minutes?
Everybody is 5 minutes.
Okay, so now if I had 2 people from different homes in the same group and they transfer their time to me, would I be able to continue
No,
talking?
everybody has 5 minutes.
So in other words,
So if other people were there, they can come up and speak for 5
but
minutes.
some of them don't even speak English, so they want me, in the event that it went further, I couldn't represent them. That's my question.
He could translate.
It will be translating. Someone
Okay.
will translate.
Yeah, but it's the same common thing. We got 75 units in Harbor Town, okay? We give $500,000 in taxes, and if we want to have something answered, and I run out of time, they're not gonna be able to voice exactly what needs to be done. And you're saying, no, we can have, like I say, 75 people represented, but you only give them 4 minutes unless they come individually here.
Everybody has the right for 5 minutes.
I don't know. This says Bill of Rights, the first to sign. Doesn't sound like you got too much rights.
Anybody else?
Vince Macula, 215 Sheraton Street. This past weekend, there was a news article. The senator from Woodbridge had, head of the Health Committee in Trenton, went over some of the details of this thing. And it has to do with the group homes within the state of New Jersey. There are basically a couple thousand group homes with 6,000, could be much higher than that, residents. And I think one of the key things I got out of reading that article in our local newspaper is within those only a couple thousand group homes, there is over 1,000 lawsuits that are going on in the state of New Jersey. I'm not talking legally, but I have been employed by ARC. And I know it's a very extreme, difficult job to do at times. It has the possibility of injuries, and it also has the possibility that you need a lot of training to understand the people that you work with in terms of mental disabilities, physically, as well as just being separate from their families. So what I'm saying, I'm trying to bring a point across, if I can inject, that some of these difficulties have to be resolved outside the legal realms. They cannot, every single case should not be brought into court where somebody's looking for a grand bit of money out of it. I respect families that have their loved ones in those situations, and some of those group homes are in Perth Amboy. If I may change the subject a little bit to the Perth Amboy situation, you have situations in workman's comp, and there were several council members over the years that went in-depthly how you can better train individuals who are working in Perth Amboy. That is their livelihood. That is something they should cherish. And it's also, I believe, something they should not simply think it's a way to, because it's a hard job, it's a way out of the future. They have a stake, a livelihood in working in this town. And I say that not to preach, but just to say, as you're reviewing your budget, and other council people have tried and have said things that need to be done to lower these, every meeting that I've attended for years has several, each and every meeting, 1, 2, workman's comp. They're legitimate, I'm sure, in a lot of ways. But you need to resolve, in some ways, to lower the cost of health care. In some ways, the senator from Woodbridge has said, the sky is not falling. These things can be resolved. And I think that's one fabric of how you can better understand how to lower costs within Perth Amboy, because I see it all the time. You're approving hundreds of thousands of dollars on many, many occasions. So thank you for listening to that, and I appreciate being able to discuss this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public portion.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll come back. Oh, let's adjourn the caucus, right?
Do you want to adjourn it? Okay.
Yeah.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, we'll be back in 5 minutes for the city council meeting. Thank you. Ready?
Well, Miguel's not back there giving me the evil eye.
Okay, good evening. This is the City Council meeting for May 28, 2025. Presiding officer of the council, Milady Tejeda, wishes to advise the audience that notice of this meeting has been filed with the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and posted on the bulletin board in the city clerk's office and on the city's website, indicating that today's meeting is being held in the council chambers, City Hall, 260 High Street at 5:30 p.m. Council President Tejeda, as a courtesy of the governing body, I will ask all individuals present, including members of the audience, to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Should you need to make a telephone call, please go out into the hallway and speak in a low voice so as not to disturb the ongoing meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Present.
Councilwoman Morales?
Present.
Councilwoman Peralta is excused.
Excuse.
Councilman Puccio?
Present.
Council President Tejeda?
Present. Let's stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Dear Lord, please watch over this governing body. Provide us with the wisdom and the understanding the needs of our citizen and our city. Protect all our troops away from home and also in our nations and their family. Protect them because they're protecting our freedom beyond our abilities. And for all our children who lives and play in this city. With that, I say amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, ordinance, public hearing, 5 minutes maximum per speaker per ordinance. Number one, an ordinance of the City of Perth, Amboy County of Middlesex, New Jersey, to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance designating restricted parking spaces for use by handicapped persons, ordinance number 380-85, and amendments adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. And this is about addition. I need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anybody on this? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? I need a motion to adopt.
Second. Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes.
There you go, yes.
Okay. Number two, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled Taxi Cabs, ordinance number 38-74 as amended, also known as Chapter 404C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone on this? Are you?
I was gonna wait to see if she was gonna speak on the budget first, then there's a lot of questions, or you're gonna have no public, you're gonna talk, be able allowed to talk about the budget after she speaks.
Huh?
This is for taxi cabs.
This is a
Oh, this is taxi cab.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Seeing none, I need a motion to close public hearing.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to adopt.
Move.
Second. Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Agenda, public comments. Citizen may address the council on any matter on the agenda which does not have its own scheduled public hearing. Citizens shall be permitted to speak once for a maximum of 5 minutes. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay.
All right. Ken Bowser, 359 Brook Avenue. All right. Rosengard Park. I know the lowest bid, you appointed. Now, somebody did the research, you got the phone call on it, can't find anything about this company that did work. Maybe it's there, he couldn't find it. He called me up on it. The second person that's on that bid does parks and everything. But the same person who told me this is the same person who complained when we did the Olive Street about no qualification for that, and we had the roof leak after he pointed it out. The question is here, it's still mind-boggling that we can build a 4-family, 6-family house, but a park's gonna cost $1.6 million. Now, I know we've been doing a lot of work, the Truxton Park there, and you're gonna spend $750,000 to fix that park up. The question is, yeah, it's government funds. Government funds are coming from other government agencies. The state of New Jersey sends more money to the federal government than we get back. But we misuse so much of that money. We misused UEZ funds, we did, every fund here that we did under the Voss administration was misappropriated. And we're seeing the money, the way it's coming back. I sat in those seats and I gave answers to the public, even if they ran long, but they got answers to the public. I have a lawyer that if I turned around and says, Mr. Blunder at the time, give us an answer, we got an answer. A business administrator at that time, we would ask the business administrator and he would have an answer. If not, he would come back in between sessions and have an answer. Now, I know he's new, but everywhere seems to be, the budget went up because the unions and health insurance. Well, our health broker is a conservative. And if you look at his Facebook, you'd be embarrassed on what he's saying on Facebook. And he's doing so well that he runs campaign events for you and donates to you. So, okay, our money's going up, liability's going up. Who's looking at these books? When I complained about liability insurance and what was going up and the way it was bidding last year, everybody looked at me and says, we don't know what we're talking about. Now, it's jumped up. And nobody has answers for it. If you look at some of that, what I looked at, and see how does it go up so much? It went down and then jumped. So what is going on here with these numbers? How does the mayor's aide get $10,000 raise? How does she get a $10,000 raise? How does that happen? That's not a union contract. Mayor had to sign it, or somebody had to sign it, and rumor has it she's running the town anyway, the mayor's not running the town. So, what is going on here? How does certain select people, as the old businessmen, blamed it on the unions? It's the union contract, it's union. Well, the other ones are non-union, and they're getting higher raises. I'd love to see the police officers getting a $10,000 raise, because they're out there. The firemen, sanitation workers. No, it's the people that are hanging out here and enjoying themselves, doing whatever they want in the White Castle up here. We're building Taj Mahals and parks, and what was happening? And now, nobody wants to talk about it. This is the public session, public. And I know most public don't want to come out because they all tell me the same thing. What's happening? We don't get no answers. We don't get no answers. Everybody asks me why I still come. Keep my blood pressure down. I feel better. My doctor doesn't like it because he can't prescribe any drugs. But this is what the problem is. What are you doing? And now, if this number is right or close to the number with the Board of Education, taxes are going to go up a lot on the Board of Education side. Now, what's the percentage that's going up right now if you approve the budget on the taxes? 5%, 6.5%, 3%? What is it?
You're going to wait for the budget hearing?
See, that's right. You just
Yes.
can't give a number. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? That's the problem here. You're afraid. You run to be a politician. You're supposed to have thick skin and answer the questions. That's what's supposed to happen. I'll give you back my 5 seconds.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Bids were received on April 24, 2025 for the following: Rosen Garden Park Improvement, Cinco Metals LLC, $1,027,338 with 25 cents. Flanagan's Contracting Group, Inc., $1,144,448 with 55 cents. Zenith Construction Services, $1,224,615 with 50 cents. The Avellino Construction, Inc., $1,294,362 with 50 cents. Reports. Jill A. Goldie, CFO Controller, submitted the following: GASB number 75 Actuary Valuation Report for the year ending December 31st, 2024, prepared by Dan Singer and Mark Hoff, LLP. Investment Report for the month of April 2025. Ordinance, first reading, no public discussion. An ordinance of the City of Perth, Amboy County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled An Ordinance Designating Restricted Parking Spaces for Use by Handicapped Persons, Ordinance Number 380-85, an amendment adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about addition. I need a motion.
Move.
Second. Councilwoman Cruz? Yes. Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Number two, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled Garbage, Rubbish, and Refuse, adopted February 18, 1975, ordinance number 64-75 as amended, also known as Chapter 243C of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. I need a motion.
Move.
Second. Councilwoman Cruz? Yes. Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Number three, ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy authorizing terminating the amended services agreement with Raritan Bay Area Youth Men's Christian Association, YMCA, and in lieu thereof, enter into a lease agreement commencing upon the effective date and continue thereafter for a period of 10 years for non-monetary consideration pursuant to NJSA 48:12-14 to be used for public purpose. I need a motion.
Move.
Second. Councilwoman Cruz? Yes. Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Number four, an ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy County of Middlesex, New Jersey, amending Section 430 zoning and land development adopted September 21st, 1993 as an ordinance number 68-93 and amended to provide for additional definition and conditional uses, and also amending Chapter 137 alcoholic beverages adopted September 6, 1950 as amended to provide for additional related regulations. I need a motion.
Move.
Second. Councilwoman Cruz? Yes. Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Resolution, budget to be read by title prior to public hearing. Ms. Goldie.
Thanks, you, Council President. This will constitute the reading of the budget by title as was authorized by you at a prior meeting. 2025 municipal budget of the City of Perth Amboy, County of Middlesex. Revenue and appropriation summaries. Summary of revenues. Number one, surplus, $10,653,591 and no cents. Number two, total miscellaneous revenues, $22,759,888.67. Number three, receipts from delinquent taxes, $23,000 even. Number four, letter A, local tax for municipal purposes, $64,928,192.65. Letter B, Minimum library tax, $1,590,871.61. Total amount to be raised to support the municipal budget, $66,519,064.26, bringing the total general revenues to $99,955,543.93. Summary of appropriations. Number one, operating expenses, salaries and wages, $37,774,695.84. Other expenses, $40,281,657.31. Number two, deferred charges and other appropriations, $10,801,725.78. Number three, capital improvements, $438,000 even. Number four, debt service, $10,559,195 and no cents. Number five, reserve for uncollected taxes, $100,000 even. Total general appropriations, $99,955,543.93. Next is the 2025 dedicated water wastewater utility budget. Summary of revenues. Number one, surplus, $315,000 even. Number two, miscellaneous revenues, $27,878,113.86, bringing total revenues to $28,193,113.86. Summary of appropriations. Number one, operating expenses for salaries and wages, $308,138 and no cents. Other expenses, $12,495,657.62. Number two, capital improvements, $2,483,255 and no cents. Number three, debt service, $12,396,630 and no cents. Number four, deferred charges and other appropriations, $194,433.24. Number five, surplus to the general budget, $315,000 even. Total appropriations, $28,193,113.86. Next, we have the 2025 dedicated parking utility budget. Summary of revenues. Number one, surplus, $149,126 and no cents. Number two, miscellaneous revenues, $1,049,000 even. Total revenues, $1,198,126 and no cents. Summary of appropriations. Number one, operating expenses, salaries and wages, $466,306 with no cents. Other expenses, $650,385 with no cents. Number two, debt service, $81,435 and no cents. Total appropriations, $1,198,126 and no cents. Next is the 2025 dedicated marina utility budget. Summary of revenues. Number one, surplus, $22,623.45. Number two, miscellaneous revenues, $443,800 even, bringing total revenues to $466,423.45. Summary of appropriations. One, operating expenses, salaries and wages, $167,551 and no cents. Other expenses, $293,977.45. Number two, capital improvements, $0. And number three, debt service, $4,895 and no cents, bringing total appropriations to $466,423.45. Lastly, the 2025 capital budget and six-year capital improvement program. Under general improvements, estimated total cost, $34,369,937.50. The 2025 funding, $5,250,000 even. And for 2026 to 2030, the funding is $29,119,937.50. Next is the capital budget and six-year plan for the library. The estimated cost, $1,800,000 even. 2025 funding, $768,503.60. And the 2026 to 2030 funding, $1,031,496.40. The water wastewater utility capital budget and six-year plan, estimated cost, $335,106,208.00. The 2025 funding is $41,237,501.00. And the 2026 to 2030 funding, $293,868,707.00. The parking utility capital budget and six-year plan, estimated cost, $345,000 even. The 2025 funding is $150,000 even, and the 2026 to 2030 funding is $195,000 even. And the marina utility capital budget and six-year plan, estimated cost, $1,665,000 even. 2025 funding, $300,000 even. And the 2026 to 2030 funding, $1,365,000 even. And with that, you may open the public hearing on the 2025 budget.
I need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, it's open to the public on the budget.
Kevin Pavlik, 359 Brook Avenue. Question is, how much percentage is the budget? Taxes gonna go up on the city side? What's the percentage?
5.5%.
5.5%. That was simple. 90% of the people in this town are not gonna understand what she read, because there's no difference in what the numbers went up last year. If you call anybody in the controller's office and you say down there, and I might even make a complaint this time, I'm getting lazy because I haven't done it. But that's not what it's meant for the budget, so the public could know. And I hate to say it, we have an Hispanic town. How are they gonna understand that when they get their tax bill and not going, what went up? Now, the mayor's aide gets a $10,000 raise. That's pretty good. I believe the tax assessor, he went up from 109 to 115. So he got like 16%, from 99 to 106. I don't want to keep looking at the number. The marine utility, supplies in 224 was $3,500. $35,000 now for supplies. From $3,500, $35,000. Let's see here. Tax collector, in 2003 was 99, he's gonna get 115. $16,000 in 2 years. That's a pretty good raise for a non-union worker, because Mr. Green blamed it all on the unions. So the Democrats and Vital always run that they're union people, but they're not union people who are getting these big raises. Liability insurance, $2,500,000, went up almost $800,000. I thought we got a broker to take all care of all this stuff. And all these numbers keep to be going up. Our conservative broker. It's gotten to the point, and parking authority. How do you go from $65,000 in credit card fees to $214,000 in credit card fees? It's right here in the paperwork. $65,000 to $214,000. Can anybody answer that question? That's a lot. And if the credit cards are doing this, couldn't somebody try negotiating if anybody's seen these numbers. I mean, I look here and I see these numbers, it's sad. Credit card fees, 2024, 65,000, 55, 65, in my eyes got to 214, that number I can see. Utilities, 25,000 to 57,000 for a thing. Does anybody have the answers for any of this stuff, or wondering what's going on, or you're just gonna sit there, you know? You're not gonna tell the public why credit card fees went up so much? Is there an answer there? That's what I mean.
Well, I think that's a good question, actually. Why did the credit card fees go up?
You're gonna count it as me now.
Perhaps we should ask the parking utility, which is overseen by the police chief.
I mean,
Let's
I'm
wait for
cur-
his
I'm cur-
questions.
Ken, when you're done.
Finish your questions, and then they can give you the answer.
Parking Authority, FICA Medicare is, in 2024, is 40,000, 25 is 35,000, and 35. It went down 5,000. So how does Medicare and FIC go down in one group and on a number? And here's another question. How many employees were hired last year? What was the number of employees that were hired? See? You know, these are questions that the public should know and the people should know. Because you had Mr. Green, I'm not saying anything about this business administrator because he's new, said that. The employees, that's the money, the liability insurance and everything. Well, I brought up about the different prices of the insurance and everything else like last year, and the different prices in the different companies, and we changed the companies. Now, all of a sudden, bait and switch, we'll give you a low number, and next year it's bigger? Is it bait and switch? What's going on here? You know, where is all these costs coming from?
Thank you. Chief?
I think I know the reason. Fees.
Good evening, Council. With respect to the credit card fees, as you're aware, with all of the technology and so forth that's out there, we have seen a tremendous amount of increase in the people parking and paying for the parking. Before, we had the single head meters, which were quarters that were put in, and we had to take the quarters to the bank and so forth. Now, almost everything is done electronically. So we have the pay by plate, and we have the machines, we have the Park Mobile application, which is phasing out, and we also have the Park Vantage. So we're seeing more increase in people paying for the parking and so forth because we've got more compliance than we've ever had before. Understand that these credit card fees are actually paid by the customer. So these fees are going out, but they're coming in. So they're coming in one way, in the front door, if you will, and going back out the back door to these individuals, which we retain some of that. It is a very good suggestion that we look at things and try to get cheaper prices, and we did. That's why we're now going towards Park Vantage with these credit card fees will be going down. So there'd be more retainage for the city from this. So we are taking all of those things and looking to see what we can do to take advantage of that. So again, the money that comes in and it goes out, but not all of it goes out. So that's why those things have increased, but it's really not our money per se. It's the money coming in from the tax credit card payments. So that's one of the things.
Quick question about Park Mobile. Is that phasing out? What's the projected timeline?
We're looking at, right now we're doing all signs have been changed citywide. So now Park Vantage is the only thing that we're advertising out there. So what I want to do is get that word out there a little bit more, and we're going to start seeing Park Mobile usage come down and then Park Vantage go up. So I'm going to say within the next couple of months, maybe through the summer is when we'd drop that other one away. I don't want to just stop it because now people go to Park, they have 5 minutes, and now, oh, what happened? You know, I just want to give them some time. But we are seeing those numbers on Park Vantage come up and the usage come up. So we're keeping an eye on that. So again, within about the next 3 months or so, we should be doing that, okay? Next was PSE and G costs. Clearly, we know a 17% increase. We're all going to be paying, every one of us here is going to be paying an increase, so that was part of it. Additionally, we now have lighting in parking lots that we didn't have before. So all of our parking lights are lit. The only one that we need to do a little bit better on is the library, but that's in the process this year. We're going to get some things done there, working with our partners in Public Works to get that done. But all of the other locations that either had no lights or the lights have been burned out or broken for a couple of years, they're in place now. So that's what see the increase in cost because we are lighting up to make those areas safer and so forth. So those were the increases that I could see on the PSE&G side. And then as far as the other costs, Medicaid costs or anything, that I would defer to you on that, maybe because less full-timers?
Each year when we develop the budgets, there's a determined amount for employee-related expenses, and within each of the 3 utilities, we do an allocation with certain factors, and based on those factors and those allocations of the total cost to each utility based on the anticipated number of employees that they're going to have will then determine what their share is and what they're going to then contribute towards the general payment of those expenses. So if the determined FICA Medicare number is, I don't know, $2 million, there's an allocation of that against all of the salaries across all of the budgets, and then those amounts are allocated out to them. Now, that's not to say that's their actual expense. It's what we budget for, because we may decide, okay, we're budgeting for an extra position someplace, and then that all those associated costs are then budgeted for it in the utility, but they're not actually charged for it unless those set number of positions are actually filled. So you'll see that from year to year, those numbers will vary. They'll vary based on the overall cost to the city of certain items, as well as the allocations based on projected head count. And then what we actually charge each month is based on who's on the roll for that month. So we actually look at the number of people on the payroll that are charged to each of the utilities. The library as well covers all their own expenses. And then those monies are then cross-charged from the utility back to the general budget to cover those expenses.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
On the budget.
Vince Macchio, 215 Sheridan. Can I ask a question about the water utilities? Obviously, we've had several meetings. Mr. Perez is here to ask questions. It's about specific bills that you receive, correct? You stated concerning the 2025 to the 2026. 2025 is 335 million and change for the total water utility, correct? And the reason why I ask, it seems like when you said 2026, it went down to 293,868. So that is a drop considerably in millions. Can you explain the droppage? You know, we work in people, it's a working class community, and that's one thing to consider with water. And I wasn't here for the department meeting for that reason. Can you explain the drop from 335 to in 1 year? And I understand there were many meetings that Mr. Green described the responsibility through this EPA ruling that the city was going to be responsible for a substantial increase, and they applied for several times for some of those monies. But that's my question. Do you have an answer to why it dropped in 1 year?
It did not. It's, the numbers that I was reading is for the 2025 capital budget and the 6-year capital improvement program. So the estimated cost for the 6-year plan is $335,106,208.
That's what I meant.
And then it's broken between the 2025 year funding of the 6-year plan, which was $41,237,501 even.
And what was the 293?
And then the 293,868,707 is from 2026 to 2030
That's what I
year.
meant.
The total funding for the 5 of the 6 years.
And has the city or the,
It didn't drop,
water
so the
utility-
total is broken down between the 25 portion, and the rest of it is the other 5 years.
and was there any investigation or any kind of legal or scientific investigation and how the specific lawsuit that has gone on at, I believe, about less than a year ago through San Francisco had a ruling where they weren't going to be responsible for much of the monies that it would incorporate in rebuilding their water system. Was any, Mr. Perez, or anything, was anything done in that respect? This is only because, as a public, we're educated, we see things, we have the internet, we have Google, and those are understandable things that we should acknowledge within Perth Amboy. So thank you for answering that.
Thank you. Anyone else on the budget? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay.
Council President, if I might, the resolution to adopt the budget is R-245. If you do adopt the budget, then R-246 would not be needed. It was just a placeholder in the event that the budget didn't move forward, that we needed more temporary budget
Oh,
funds.
okay.
Okay, so it's one or the other, basically.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, look through the resolutions. And remember, number 243 was pulled. And we should leave the 245 by itself. I will pull that out. Okay. Anything else you want to pull?
No. I'm good.
How about you? You good? Okay, so the consent agenda is R-222, 525 through R-242, 525, and R-244, 525. I need a motion for the consent agenda.
Move.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes, okay, now R-245, 525, adopting the calendar year 2025 budget. I need a motion.
Move.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morales?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Okay, I want to thank everyone, all the departments and all the administration and everybody who worked very hard on this budget to make it work. We had a department hearing the other day on the 22nd, and everybody seems to be working very hard to make this budget possible. I know there is an increase on tax, but we have to understand everything is difficult nowadays, and our city needs to continue moving forward, taking care of our residents and the needs that our residents have, and my vote is yes. So we don't need our 246.
Right.
Okay. Public portion. 5 minutes maximum per speaker. I need a motion to open to the public.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay. This is about anything.
My name is Zachary Thomas. I live in 177 Market Street.
Get close to the mic,
I live in
please.
177 Market Street. Listen, my concern is for the, like the fireman department. Last week,
they were rushing down to a call, whatever. It took them like about 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. They had to stop us. And Madison Avenue all the way to Gordon Street, there's cars double parked. They leave the cars there, nobody's inside the car. They put the flashes on. And meanwhile, you know, they responding to an emergency or whatever, and it's just creating hazards for the firemen. It's an ongoing thing. Even you go down Hobart Street, you walk there, you got cars double parked all over the place. Nobody inside. And it seems like it's an ongoing thing here that's accepted. People put their hazardous light on, they get out of their car, they walk away. It's okay to park like that.
Okay.
And the second thing I had to talk about here is the loud noise. I live right between Madison Avenue and Market Street. Last weekend, the noise was so loud, I thought it was like a construction equipment or like in a racetrack. It was so loud, my dog started howling, barking, and they just keep going around the blocks, 3 or 4 or 5 cars. And it's you know, the quality of life is getting worse around here. I've been living here since 1969, and it is getting worse.
Did you call the police on that?
No, I didn't call the police on that, no. By the time you call the police, they're done. They just right around the whole place. You know, like it seems like they do it on purpose with these loud cars. When I was young, I had a car. I remember my muffler was broken. I did pay a fine, but that was because my muffler was broken. But these people look like they modify the mufflers just to make noise. You know, the loud radios vibrating. You can't even watch the TV or hear the TV inside your house. You know, it's getting bad. I don't know if this issue being brought up to you, but it's. I don't know.
Okay. Chief, you have something to tell this resident? Okay, is that?
That's it, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. Yes, we all are aware with the town being as tight as it is, we always have issues with double parkers and so forth. The officers are addressing them. I myself actually rode a patrol shift the other night, 5 at night to 3 in the morning with the police officers in the car with them. We addressed several of these issues. There were others we were on jobs or going to jobs that we couldn't address because it was a higher priority incident. But they did get behind the cars, did have the cars moved, they issued summonses. As far as the loud mufflers and so forth, we had at least 2 cars that were towed that evening. For those particular things as unsafe vehicles because of what they're doing. Clearly, we can't be everywhere. We know that, as the gentleman said. If he calls us, sometimes by the time we get there, they are moving, but we still do encourage anyone to call that has any of these types of things going on, these quality of life issues, so that we can have it registered, so that we can have the officers continue to keep an eye in the area. On top of that, we obviously are shifting patrols around now a little because it's getting warmer. Our special officers are going to be a little bit more off of Smith Street, a little more down the waterfront, a little more on the outer outskirts of town and so forth, as well as we've also instituted UEZ patrol. So we have 2 officers all day assigned to any of the business areas. And I've gotten, actually over the weekend, I got notified by 3 different people that came up to me and said how they've seen officers walking Smith Street on the foot patrol and so forth, interfacing with the businesses and so forth. So they definitely are seeing the increase in presence out there. Again, we can't be everywhere, but we like to be. But anything that we can do, anything that anyone sees, please give us a call and we'll be there to address everything as best we can.
And I think also if you feel that the police is going to come and they're not going to be around, but you say that they turn around and were around. So at least if the police comes and is, you know, driving around and maybe they will, it's difficult to address this whole situation with the noise.
I understand, but it feels like you're like an English-style racetrack. They ram the engines real loud. Windows in the house start vibrating, and it's like a joke. It's going around and around, and you know, somebody gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
And again, we can address that with summonses or towing the vehicles if they're unsafe vehicles, depending what they do. But you know, then they have to go to court and see what happens there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I did see the policemen downtown too at the time walking back and forth.
Thank you.
Good evening, Carolyn Maxwell. I live next door, okay? But I want to complain because when buses, okay, they're on Smith Street, they make the right-hand turn to Oak Street as if it's like leaving Smith Street here. Make the right-hand turn to Oak Street, horrible, because there's cars parked right there in the yellow line. And I I'm directing traffic on Smith Street to get this bus to make the right-hand turn. This car parked at Primavera on the side street, and the other side, you went into the bakery, got somebody else was parked on one side of the street. But the other car, I'm backing out of bus, okay? It's like 2:30 in the afternoon, backing the bus out of the Smith Street, stopping cars. I called the traffic department to let them know that I went to get my medication in the pharmacy. That car was still parked there. Okay, so they need to do something about the intersection, Smith Street and Oak Street. Those buses have to make the right-hand turn because they're very tight streets. They're perfectly all right, forget it. I should not be directing a bus to stop with traffic on that street. Okay? You want to make a lot of get tickets, put lights at the 5 corners. People are making illegal turns like we don't believe. Okay? Get a traffic light. I mean, a camera up there. Thank you. Have a good
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, council comments?
Good evening, thank you.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Good evening, thank you for the presentation. I want to echo what our council president said. Thank you to each director for going over the intricate presentation, but also keeping it concise, straightforward. Thank you both as well for going through it, explaining it to us. We appreciate it. It's difficult. It'll get raised for us as, you know, as homeowners. But I know one thing we mentioned is as minimal as possible, considering each of the department needs and going over everything else that's embedded within it. And lastly, just congratulations to the boys volleyball team and their coach. It's always great to see the youth doing amazing things, and may this inspire the next generation. Have a good evening, and thank you all for those being here as well.
Thank you. Councilwoman Morales?
Thank you for everyone that was here to participate this evening. Thank you also, Jill Goldie, and all the department heads for, you know, working with the budget and finally getting it together. I know that's a lot of work, and appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Akil, as well. Just also wanted to congratulate all the young men in the volleyball team. Really, really proud of them. Really, as the mayor had said earlier, we seem to have additional teams that are being recognized now lately and doing really well. So our youth is getting involved, and I'm really happy to see that, especially with the young men's volleyball team. They, you know, first time in history that they won a division championship, so really proud of them. And I think that's about it. I believe there are some events going on this weekend. The Greek Festival, come out and join it. Should be a lot of fun. I believe it's gonna be raining, but let's enjoy it anyway. And that's it, have a good evening.
Thank you. Councilman Puccio?
Thank you, Madam President. You know, I understand what this gentleman said, but I just think even if we had 1,000 cops, it's just that the police can't be everywhere. I mean, look, I was a police officer for 40 years, so I understand what you're saying, but it's everywhere. It's not just Perth Amboy. I mean, you know, Main Street, Woodbridge, people just decide to make U-turns in the middle of the block. In Woodbridge, you drive on the Parkway or the Turnpike or 287, you're taking your life in your hands. Nobody does less than 90, and they zigzag out of traffic. And I understand, and I think that the police, and you know, try the best they can, but they can't be everywhere. Look, even where I live on the other side of town, the windows vibrate. I get what you're saying. I understand. And hopefully, you know, when I was a young cop, my job, I used to have a special job on the waterfront in Sadowski. Our job was to write loud music tickets, and they hurt. They're $350 a shot. But like I said, you know, I what the chief said, and I've seen him. The police are trying their best to do the job. It's just hard. Nobody will. It just seems when people get in their cars these days, they just drive whatever they want. There's no fear of getting a summons. That's the problem. Whether it's here in Perth Amboy or it's driving down the Parkway or the Turnpike, they just don't care. So I think the police officers here are doing the best they can. due to the circumstances, but we're a town of 4.5 square miles, and we probably have close to 80,000 people that live here. And when you have people living on top of people, a lot of times, some things slip through the crack, but hopefully, eventually, they get what they deserve. So, but I feel your concern, and I know the chief gets it. I noticed today driving. I always drive Smith Street when I come to the council meeting. I counted about 8 police cars today. I was like, geez, they're all over the place today. But hopefully, they'll pick it up. I know police officers are just trying their best, but we have a lot of people. It's not an excuse, but I'm just saying, whether we're here or we're in Woodbridge or we're in South Amboy, you're seeing people just decide to get in their cars and they're gonna do what the hell they want. Whether it's blasting their music, and I'll leave you with this thought. If I was still a police officer today, and I pulled somebody over for loud music, not only would they get the summons for loud music, but they would get a summons for careless driving, because you can't operate a vehicle when you can't hear. So, but that's just me.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, what if we, get stricter on the enforcement and the summonses and whatever the penalty is? Maybe it'll
You're right.
deter people from, making sure that our police officers, I don't know if maybe you should increase, the fines.
That's very true. And
If the penalty is really strict, and if they're really enforcing it, then I think it would deter a lot of people from doing it.
And the chief could tell you, you know what, 9 out of 10 times I would let people go, and then they would, do the right thing.
Well, I was just concerned about the firemen. They go.
No, I agree with you. I agree
with you.
You know what? There used to be a thing is if a car was blocking a fire hydrant, there was a fire, the firefighters would break the window and put the hose through the windows.
Yep,
So, I get it though, I get it.
yeah. Thank you. You're done?
I'm done.
Thank you. I think we all understand, we all feel the same way about the reality that we're living in. It's funny because many times people come to me and say, oh, that policeman gave me a ticket. I was parking just for a little bit on the yellow line. I'm sorry, but you're not going to get my sympathy for you parking illegally. So I think this time people is going to have to be, is going to have to understand what they're living and, take responsibility for their actions. And little by little, it's going to take a while, but we'll get there. And we hear you.
I remember when I was young, it's 20 feet from the curb. If I can find a spot, I go drive 1-2 blocks, I park at the Jefferson parking lot, and I walk home.
Yes, yes. But anyway, I want to thank everyone, Jill, the administration, the different directors who worked very hard with this budget, and the residents. That's the best we could do with what we have, and that's what we need to do. Thank you very much, everyone who worked so hard with the budget, and now we'll just continue. Thank you, and I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Have a good night, everyone.